Now, in the previous videos, we learned how to mark in and out points on a clip in both the project panel and the source panel. But in each case, we only marked one in and out point on a certain range of that clip. Well, there's a lot of times that is efficient if you have a lot of clips and you just needed to trim the head and tails off them. But there's other times where you're working with just a few very long clips and you really want to mark in and out points throughout parts of that clip. For instance, in this cooking show, or maybe you're at a sporting event, or even at a concert. So the solution is to create something called a subclip, where you can mark an in and out point and then save that range as its own clip. Let me show you how easy and efficiently you can do that. So I want to have an in and out point for Vanessa's opening read to camera. So let's go ahead and find that quickly. So there she's starting to talk. I'm going to press I for in, and I'll go just a little bit later and O for out. Now, right before I press the O button, I want you to take a quick look here. Before it said 11 seconds, and then I marked an in point, so that cut the head off. Now I'm going to press O and mark an out point, and you're going to see it drop from 9.5 minutes to something much, much shorter. So now I've refined it to about 38 seconds in length of what I really need while she talks and I pretend to talk on the phone. So to take this in and out point and make it into a subclip is pretty easy. I'm going to change a few things in my lower left-hand pane just so you can more easily see the effect of making a subclip. I'm going to scroll all the way over to my project pane, and I'm going to go to camera 1 and double-click it to load it as its own tab. So now we have a fairly clean resource, and this is what we're making into subclips. And let's go ahead and make sure the source window is selected. We'll go up under Clip, and we'll see there's an option to Make Subclip. Now, I'm using the drop-down window because it's easier for you to see, but I would probably use the keyboard shortcut of Command-U on a Macintosh or Control-U on a Windows machine to take that in and out point and make it into a subclip. Now, you'll notice when I click to make this as a subclip, I get a dialog box. And it does two things. First, it creates a name based upon the original clip's name and adds the suffix of subclip. I can change that to something more appropriate, such as intro. And it gives me the choice of restricting or non-restricting the trims to subclip boundaries. I'm going to go ahead and restrict the first one, and then I'll make a second subclip and not restrict it and show you the difference in the timeline. One thing to keep in mind is that Premiere remembers the state that you last left the checkbox. So if you left it restricted and you don't change it, all your subclips to follow will also be restricted. Let's go ahead and hit OK, and you'll notice that the intro subclip has been created, and it has a slightly different shape to the icon. And I do want to point out that whenever you make a subclip, you're not creating any new media, you're just creating a new pointer to part of the existing media on your hard drive. Let's quickly jump to another part of the clip where I'm working on the pizza. We'll make another in and out point, and this time, instead of hitting Command-U, I'm going to hold down the Command key, and this is the Control key on Windows, and simply drag the clip from the source panel directly down into my project panel. I get the same pop-up window. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck Restrict, and I'll name this Flatten, because that's what I'm doing to the pizza, and I'll hit OK. Now let me drag both of these into our timeline, and you'll see how they work a little bit differently. I'm going to drag Intro in first and Flatten in second, and I left space. Now if you'll notice, there's a little triangle at the left and right edges of our restricted clip. Whenever you see this little triangle on a clip, you know that you used all the media in that clip and you can't stretch it out any longer. So I could make it shorter, but when I stretch it out, that's the absolute limit of this clip. Now, I know there is more available in the original clip, but I chose to arbitrarily restrict how much I can trim it. On the unrestricted clip, I don't see the little triangles on either side, and I can stretch them out as long as I need. So as you see, creating subclips from really large clips can make things more organized, and you can find things faster.